Sequoia for week 7 has got to do some off-property rides, which is really fun. We've been working on trailer loading a little bit more and sending her on to the trailer instead of leading her on, and she's doing really, really well. We went to a little place called Equestrian Lakes and we did a trail ride out there. I was lucky enough to have one of my friends, Lisa, invite me out to go ride. And the first day we went with another horse, and we went maybe 45 minutes to an hour worth of a ride. Just a nice, easy, kind of get her off the property, see the place. The next ride that we did there, I hauled her by herself, and she did extremely well. We went about, it was 4.6 miles. It was a nice trail ride. It was hot, but she did really, really well. We crossed over the pavement a couple of times. We went past a road and had some cars go past us, and I just couldn't have been happier. She did really, really well. We've also just been doing some general work on trying to get a little softer. We have been adding in the bridle again with the bit, and you know, once she takes it, she's pretty good. She's still kind of playing with it a little in her mouth, but we've been doing so much work with the bitless bridle, you know, it's kind of adding that back in. It's a little different. I took her over a couple little cross rails and she was like, wait, oh, what's that? Okay, and she did really well over them. A little bit wiggly, but for her first time going through a little line, she did very well. I was very happy with her attitude. Another thing I kind of wanted to talk about this week is Sequoia in general. So for those of you all interested in adopting her, what is Sequoia like? We've just started tying, and so far so good. She's doing really well. At first, she had, way back in the beginning when I first got her, I wrapped a rope around a post. She was like, oh my gosh, that's super terrifying. We just stepped back. I worked tons on giving to pressure from the rope, just being soft. And since then, when I've been tying her, she has been like, oh wait, there's pressure. I just stop. So really happy with that. With brushing, I can brush her face, I can brush her neck, her body, her stomach. The stomach at first she was pretty twitchy with, but she's doing well with that now. Her legs, she's good. Both sides. The place that she's actually the most concerned with is still back here on the tail. That will not hopefully be an issue by the time the 100 days is up, but that's kind of where we're at right now. When I go to brush her tail and touch her hind end, she's like, oh, what are you doing? And she'll still kind of move away. Her feet have been improving so much. I can pick up and hold her front feet and clean them. I can pick up her back feet and clean them if I clean them fairly quickly. She still won't hold them tons and tons, but really, really improved. She's not spinning away from me so much, and she's not trying to just slam her foot back down. She's really making a good effort to hold them up for me. I really think a lot of that is due to working and having to use those joints more. And I think the joint supplement that Carmi donated has really helped a lot. I put a lot of my horses on joint supplements. I think that it is beneficial for them. Sequoia is doing really well with bug spray and with me spraying her mane. Sometimes she kind of picks her heads up and looks at it. The only time now I kind of have a step back with her is if she doesn't know you have it. So if you show her the bottle and then you spray her, she's fine. If you're standing here and she doesn't see it and you spray her, she'll go, oh, what's that? And take a step back. But it's not panicky. It's more she just didn't know that it was happening. Sequoia is doing really well with the Western saddle going on and off of her. The English saddle, she doesn't love the jingle of the girth. We've been working on that. I'll like put it over her and jingle it. So when I do that, she still kind of tightens a little, but she's standing for it. She's not fidgeting. She's doing really well. The bridles, both the bitless bridle and the regular English bridle with a bit, those are probably her hardest things, and the leather halter if you slide it over her head versus buckling it around her neck. She does not like things to slide over her face. We've been doing a lot of work on that. You know, she wanted to spin and spin and spin. Now she kind of stands there and she's like, oh, I don't like this, let me turn my head. But most of the time that's about all we get. She's not a fan of me touching her mouth. That is also something that hopefully by the time the 100 days are up, the bridling issues and the touching her mouth won't be a problem. I can touch her ears, I can touch her face, but when I go to put the bridle on, I generally put my thumb in the corner of their mouth to ask them to open their mouth up. And when I go to touch there, she's like, oh my gosh, you're touching my lip. And so that's another thing that we're kind of adding on work-wise. With our riding, oh my gosh, this horse loves trail rides. It is her absolute favorite thing. If you plan on adopting Sequoia, you have to trail ride at least part of your rides. She doesn't mind the arena stuff, but the whole time you're on a trail, her ears are perked and she's just looking around. She power walks, but it's not a nervous, tight, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm doing. It's just this happy, huge swinging stride. She'll outwalk things, but I mean, she just loves it. She really enjoys the trail riding. Our arena work, she likes to think about stuff, and sometimes it takes her a second. A lot of times the first time you ask her to do something, she gets a little tight and she's kind of doing sort of what you want. And then the next ride or the ride after that, she'll almost be a little fussier. And then she'll have that aha moment and then she'll start softening a little bit more. And that has been the case with most of the things she's unsure with. She's kind of like, wait, I don't know. And then she gets a little worse and then she starts getting better. But we do walk and trot. She knows what those mean. She's really good. You know, breathe out, a little half halt. She's great at her halts, both with the bit and without the bit. The canter, I have cantered her. She's picked up her left lead. She's picked up her right lead. We're not super consistent with that because I have not done tons of work at the canter yet. I've really been trying to, after the initial couple canters, just to make sure she was going to do it. You know, I've been trying to go back and just work on building up muscles, building up softness. You know, she kind of wants to go with her nose really stuck out. So just trying to get her to relax her back a little bit more and be softer through her back. And then we'll add in more canter work to really improve that a little bit here within the next 50 days. I cannot believe we are halfway there. It is crazy, but I'm really happy with Sequoia. I still believe she is not going to be a little kid horse or someone who is timid, because she is so forward and she's not going to take off galloping, or at least she hasn't with me. You know, she's pretty sane, but if you touch her with your leg, she's going to move. And we've been working on, okay, sometimes it means move sideways, sometimes you move your front end or your hind end or your whole body, sometimes you move forward, sensitive to that leg. So if you are interested in adopting Sequoia, you're going to want to go to the Heart of Phoenix page and get approved so that you can bid on her at the auction at the end of the competition. And if you have any questions about her, please send me an email or a Facebook message and ask away. I'd love to hear your questions. I want her to find the best home possible. So like, subscribe, follow us on Facebook at #HopTeamSequoia, #ATFO2021.